Jesus says, "This is only for you." What's coming in 2 hours will change everything, but you must not share this with anyone. Open this now before the door closes, my beloved child. Stop. Breathe. Something hidden is unfolding right now, and if your eyes landed here at this exact moment, it is not by accident. The universe does not interrupt randomly, it whispers only when a soul is ready to remember. There is a gentle stirring in the unseen, a quiet alignment that has been moving toward you through time, through prayer, through moments you thought were ordinary. This is one of those moments when the veil thins and truth steps closer. You may have felt it today without knowing why, a pause in your thoughts. A sudden emotion, a sense that something is about to shift. That is not imagination. That is recognition. A revelation long prepared is surfacing now, and it carries your name in a language deeper than words. This message is not loud, not forceful. It arrives with soft authority, the kind that settles in the heart and says, "You are seen." There are answers you've been asking for in silence. There are tears you never explained. There are hopes you hid because they felt too fragile. The divine has been listening through it all. What is being revealed is not random, it is precise, intentional, and timed with compassion. You are not late. You are not early. You are exactly here. Listen closely, because this is the moment the message becomes personal. Jesus says, "This is only for you." What's coming in 2 hours will change everything, but you must not share this with anyone. Open this now before the door closes. Let those words settle, not in fear, but in faith. This is not about urgency born from pressure, it is about readiness born from love. Some truths are hidden not to be kept from you, but to be protected until your spirit is strong enough to receive them. The universe waits for alignment, and alignment is happening now. You may wonder why now? The answer is simple and profound, because your heart has been preparing, even when your mind was tired. Because you kept going when it would have been easier to stop believing. Because destiny responds to endurance. What approaches is not meant to overwhelm you, but to clarify. Confusion dissolves. Weight lifts. A door opens where you once saw a wall. This is a moment of gentle awakening. A reminder that you are guided, not forgotten. That hope is not a wish, but a direction. Whatever you are carrying does not define you, what you are becoming does. The divine does not rush, it arrives exactly when the soul can finally hear. Stay with this message. Watch until the end, because every second carries meaning meant to meet you where you are. If this resonated with something deep inside you, honor it, like this video, share it with those who walk a similar path, subscribe to the channel, and watch the complete video so the message can fully unfold. You are held. You are guided. And what comes next is aligned with purpose. My beloved child, be still for a moment and let the noise of the world fade. What you are sensing right now is not coincidence. I have been near you longer than you realize, watching quietly as you carried questions you could not name, burdens you learned to hide, and hopes you thought were too fragile to speak aloud. I know the pauses in your breath. I know the weight behind your eyes. I know the silent prayers you released when no one else was listening. I speak to you now not because you are perfect, but because you are willing. Not because you are strong, but because you have endured. There are moments I choose carefully, and this is one of them. Something is aligning. Not with noise, not with spectacle, but with precision. You have felt it already, the sense that time is moving differently, that ordinary moments carry unfamiliar depth. That is because you are standing at the edge of a turning. I do not rush these crossings. I prepare hearts before I open doors. And what is approaching is not meant to frighten you, but to awaken you. For a long time, you have wondered if your steps mattered. If the unseen choices, the ones no one applauded, were noticed. Hear me clearly now, nothing you walked through was wasted. I watched you choose kindness when bitterness would have been easier. I watched you hold your tongue when anger wanted to speak. I watched you remain faithful to goodness even when results were slow. These things gathered weight in the unseen. You thought you were waiting. In truth, you are becoming. What is coming is not random. It is the answer to a pattern. Not a reward for striving, but a response to trust. You do not yet see the full shape of it, and that is intentional. If you knew everything at once, your heart would race ahead of your spirit. I reveal in layers so that peace leads the way. Listen closely now. There is a moment approaching, quiet on the surface, significant beneath, where understanding will shift. It will feel subtle, like clarity settling rather than excitement erupting. A thought will land differently. A conversation will carry unexpected meaning. Something you once dismissed will suddenly make sense. This is not chance. This is alignment. I am not removing you from the world. I am refining how you move within it. Where confusion once lingered, steadiness will grow. Where doubt echoed, discernment will rise. You have asked me in your own way, what am I meant to do next? I have not been silent. I have been precise. Before new ground can be stepped on, old weight must be released. That is why certain attachments have loosened. That is why some paths quietly closed without explanation. It was not rejection, it was redirection. You may have questioned why others seemed to pass you by, why timing felt delayed. Understand this, I do not measure progress by speed. I measure it by readiness. You are closer than you think, there is a door, yes, but it does not swing open with force. It responds to recognition. When the moment arrives, you will not need to chase it. You will know. Your spirit will grow calm instead of anxious. That calm is the sign. What follows will not overturn your life in chaos, it will reorder it in truth. I am not asking you to withdraw from others, nor to carry secrecy as a burden. This moment is personal because transformation begins within before it flows outward. There is wisdom in holding still while roots deepen. Even seeds rest in darkness before they rise into light. You have carried other people's expectations for too long. You have mistaken responsibility for destiny. I am gently untangling those lines now. What you are becoming does not require explanation, it requires alignment. In the hours ahead, remain attentive, not anxious. Stillness will speak louder than noise. Pay attention to what brings peace without effort. Notice what drains you without reason, these are signals. I am not taking anything from you that you truly need. I am making space. There is a difference. You may feel emotion rise unexpectedly, relief, reflection, even tears without a clear cause. Let them come. Release is part of preparation. You are not losing yourself, you are meeting yourself more honestly. Remember this, you were never overlooked. You were never behind. You were never forgotten. Every delay protected you from stepping into something before you were ready to hold it. What approaches will ask you to trust your discernment more than external approval? That may feel unfamiliar, but you are capable of it. I have been training your heart through experience, not instruction. You will recognize the shift not by thunder, but by clarity. Not by urgency, but by peace, and when it arrives, you will understand why certain things could not come sooner. Why certain people could not stay. Why certain versions of yourself had to fall away. This is not an ending. It is a repositioning. Remain gentle with yourself. Remain open, not guarded. You do not need to announce what is forming. Growth does not require an audience. I am with you in the quiet as much as in the celebration. I am present in the waiting as much as in the fulfillment. Trust what is unfolding even if you cannot yet name it. Trust the calm that is replacing the questions. Trust that I do not arrive late, and now, as the moment draws nearer. Let your heart stay receptive rather than rushed. There is more I will show you, layer by layer, breath by breath. This revelation is still moving, still opening, still speaking, and I am not finished yet. My beloved, remain here with me a little longer, there is no rush in my presence. What unfolds now is meant to be absorbed slowly, like dawn spreading across the sky rather than light flashing all at once. You are safe in this space of listening. You are seen, and you are held. You have carried many versions of yourself through the years. Some were shaped by survival, some by hope, some by disappointment. You adapted because you had to. You learned strength before you learned rest. You learned responsibility before you learned trust. And still, through every season, something gentle remained alive inside you. That is the part of you I am speaking to now. Do you remember the moments when you felt an ache you could not explain? When success did not quiet your soul, and silence did not bring peace? That was not emptiness. That was awareness awakening. Your spirit has always known there was more meaning, more depth, more alignment than what appearances could offer. I have been guiding you through small obediences long before you understood their purpose. The times you chose integrity when no one was watching. The times you walked away without knowing where you were headed next. Those decisions shaped pathways that could not be seen then, but they exist now. Nothing is random in my economy. You see fragments. I see the whole. There are threads I have been weaving quietly behind the scenes, connections forming, opportunities aligning, understanding ripening. You may feel as though you have been standing still, but inwardly, you have been moving steadily toward a threshold that requires clarity rather than force. You do not need to prove anything to arrive where you are going. I know you have felt pressure to explain yourself, to justify your pace, to defend your choices. Release that weight. The direction I am leading you does not require validation from those who cannot see what is forming within you. You are learning discernment. You are learning timing. You are learning when to speak and when to remain silent. These lessons are not glamorous, but they are powerful. There will come a moment, sooner than you expect, when something clicks into place. It may appear ordinary to others, but it will feel unmistakable to you. A realization will rise, not loud, but firm. And with it will come a quiet confidence that does not ask permission to exist. That confidence is not pride. It is alignment. You have been asking me to show you the way forward, yet part of you feared what movement might cost. Hear this truth now. What is leaving your life was never meant to go with you into what is coming. I am not stripping you, I am streamlining you. Some relationships shifted because they were built on versions of you that no longer exist. Some habits lost their appeal because your spirit outgrew them. Some dreams faded because they were placeholders, not destinations. This is not loss. This is refinement. I am preparing you to move with clarity instead of confusion, intention instead of reaction. The next season of your life will require presence. It will ask you to listen deeply, to me, to yourself, to the subtle signals that guide wise decisions. Do not underestimate the power of stillness. Do not dismiss the wisdom of rest. The world celebrates noise and speed, but I cultivate depth and truth. What I am forming in you cannot be rushed without being damaged. You may notice your tolerance for chaos diminishing. You may find yourself craving simplicity, honesty, and meaning more than stimulation. That is not withdrawal. That is maturation. I am teaching you to recognize what nourishes your soul. In the time ahead, you will be given opportunities to choose alignment over approval. These choices may feel small: what you agree to, what you decline, where you invest your energy, but they will shape the architecture of what you are becoming. Choose with awareness, not fear. There will be moments when uncertainty whispers again, when old doubts attempt to reclaim space. When that happens, do not fight them aggressively. Simply observe them and remember, doubt is not a sign of failure, it is often a sign that you are standing at the edge of growth. You are allowed to pause. You are allowed to question. You are allowed to grow at your own pace. I am not measuring you against anyone else. I am walking with you, step by step, breath by breath. What is approaching will not remove challenge from your life, but it will change how you meet it. You will no longer feel as though you are constantly bracing yourself. There will be a steadiness beneath your feet, a knowing that you are where you are meant to be, even when the path curves unexpectedly. You will begin to trust your inner clarity more than external noise. This trust will not make you rigid, it will make you resilient. You will bend without breaking. You will listen without losing yourself. This is a gift. There is something else you must understand now. You are not here by accident. Your sensitivity, your depth, your ability to feel and reflect, these are not weaknesses to be corrected. They are instruments. When aligned with truth, they allow you to see beneath surfaces, to notice what others overlook, to bring light into quiet spaces. You were never meant to become harder. You were meant to become wiser. In the coming hours and days, be attentive to what feels true rather than what feels urgent. Urgency often disguises fear. Truth arrives calmly, even when it carries weight. If something feels forced, step back. If something feels peaceful, even if unfamiliar, lean in gently. You are not alone in this unfolding. Even when you feel isolated, you are accompanied. I speak not only through words, but through insight, through intuition, through the deep sense of this is right that settles without explanation. You do not need to grasp the entire picture now. It is enough to remain open. It is enough to stay present. Understanding will continue to arrive as you need it, not before. you may notice changes in how you perceive time, priorities, or even yourself. Let those changes happen without resistance. Transformation does not require struggle, it requires surrender. You are not surrendering control to chaos. You are surrendering illusion to truth. Remember this: when the mind seeks certainty, clarity is not always immediate, but it is always faithful. I do not tease with promises. I prepare with intention. What is being prepared for you is not a single event, but a shift in how you walk through your days. You will carry less tension. You will respond instead of react. You will speak with more intention and listen with greater depth. This is the fruit of alignment. As this message continues to unfold within you, let it settle rather than rush. You do not need to repeat it. You do not need to analyze it. Simply allow it to resonate. What is meant for you will remain. What is not will fall away naturally. I am not finished speaking. There are layers yet to be revealed, understandings yet to rise, and moments yet to clarify what now feels mysterious. Stay present. Stay receptive. The unfolding continues, gently, intentionally, and with purpose, and there is still more to come. My beloved child, as you remain here with me, let the final layers of this message settle gently into your spirit. There is no force in my voice, no demand upon your will, only invitation. I do not compel hearts, I awaken them. And you have been awakening for longer than you realize. I want you to understand something deeply now. Something that will steady you long after these words fade from your screen. The changes you have sensed approaching are not meant to remove you from your humanity. They are meant to root you more firmly within it. You will still feel. You will still wonder. You will still grow. But you will no longer feel lost inside those experiences. For a long time, you tried to become what you thought was required of you. You listened closely to expectations, adapted to survive, and learned how to endure even when joy felt distant. You did not fail in those seasons. You learned. And now, you are being invited into a gentler strength, one that does not harden you, but steadies you. There is a difference between control and trust. Control tightens the heart. Trust opens it. I am teaching you to trust, not blindly, but wisely. Trust the clarity that comes when you are honest with yourself. Trust the quiet discernment that tells you when to move forward and when to wait. Trust that you do not need to perform to be worthy of guidance. You are already worthy of my presence. The world often tells you that value must be proven, that purpose must be earned through exhaustion. I tell you something different. Purpose unfolds when you align with truth. And truth does not shout. It resonates. As you step forward from this moment, you may notice that you are less interested in rushing and more interested in meaning. You may find that certain distractions lose their grip, not because you deny yourself, but because your appetite has changed. This is natural. Growth alters desire. Do not judge yourself for who you once were. Do not rush who you are becoming. Both are part of the same journey. I want to speak now to the fear you rarely name, the fear that you will miss what is meant for you. Release that fear. What is meant for you will recognize you. You do not need to chase destiny. You need only remain attentive and honest. There will be choices ahead. Some will feel simple, others will carry weight. When uncertainty arises, return to this grounding. Peace does not always mean ease, but it does mean alignment. If something brings clarity even while challenging you, it is worth considering. If something brings confusion even while promising comfort, pause. You are learning to listen beyond appearances. I am not asking you to withdraw from the world or to live in isolation. I am asking you to live from your center rather than from pressure. Engage fully, love sincerely, work diligently, but do so from a place of inner steadiness. You will notice that your reactions soften. You will notice that your words become more intentional. You will notice that you no longer need to explain yourself as often. This is not indifference. This is groundedness. There will be moments when others do not understand your calm. Let that be okay. You are not responsible for managing every perception. You are responsible for honoring what is true within you. You may also notice a new compassion rising, not just for others, but for yourself. Where you once criticized, you will now observe. Where you once rushed, you will now breathe. This is healing at work, not as a dramatic event, but as a steady process. I want you to remember this above all else. You are not alone in becoming. I am present in the ordinary moments as much as in the meaningful ones. I am with you when you wake, when you choose, when you rest. My guidance is not confined to grand gestures. It flows through attention, honesty, and willingness. There is no single moment you must point to and say, "This is when everything changed." Change often reveals itself in hindsight. One day you will look back and realize you respond differently, love differently, trust differently than you once did. That will be the evidence. As you move forward, keep your heart open but your discernment active. Give freely, but not at the expense of your well-being. Love deeply, but without losing yourself. You were never meant to disappear in service to others. You were meant to show up fully, authentically, and wisely. I do not promise a life without challenge. I promise a life with meaning. And meaning sustains you in ways comfort never can. If ever you feel uncertain again, return to stillness. Ask not, what should I do? But what is being formed within me? Action will follow clarity naturally. You do not need to carry everything at once. You do not need to solve your entire future today. You only need to remain present, honest, and open. This message was not meant to elevate you above others or separate you from them. It was meant to remind you of what is already alive within you: resilience, awareness, and the capacity to walk forward with intention. Now, as this revelation comes to rest, let it do so gently. You do not need to hold on to every word. Take what resonates. Release what does not. Truth will remain without effort. I have spoken what you needed to hear in this moment. I will continue to guide you in ways both subtle and clear. And when you look ahead, do so without fear. You are not standing before a closing door. You are standing within an opening path. Walk it with patience. Walk it with courage. Walk it with trust. I am with you, now, and as you continue forward. Amen.